Hey everybody out there, and as you can see by the playmat we have out today, we're going to be doing an amazing deck of the one, the only Dark Magician Girl. So, a little bit about this deck before we get into the deck profile. Recently on the channel, if you guys don't know, I profiled a Dark Magician deck. This is more of a competitive version. That version was more of a competitive version, while this version is more of a funner version that incorporates Dark Magician Girl, the Dark Magician Girl engine, so it's technically a Dark Magician Girl deck. Those are two separate distinctive decks, the Dark Magician deck and the Dark Magician Girl deck. Because with the Dark Magician Girl engine, you can use Dark Magician Girl in more ways, while just in a Dark Magician deck, as I found through playtesting the other deck, it got a little clunky. So I really like her in this deck because it's more tailored to her, but it also, in addition to that, can run a Dark Magician engine, as you'll see. So without further ado, with all the talking, let us get into the deck profile. I just wanted to explain that and also let you guys know that everybody's Dark Magician deck is different from what I've seen with all the new support. No two Dark Magician decks are the same. So, as you can see here, I like running the different artworks in this version of the deck compared to the other one where I run the old school artwork and the Arcana artwork. In this version, I like running some of the different modern versions of the artwork, and just because. But 3 Dark Magicians, it's still essential in this version of the deck and is very useful. And in addition to that, I also run 2 Dark Magician Girls. Seto Kaiba prefers the full body artwork of Dark Magician Girl to the just chest and above. Just as a man of culture, I think I should let you guys know this, as some of you cringe and shake your head and somebody's laughing out there, hopefully, at that. But saying all that, I just like 2 Dark Magician Girl in this deck. I used to run 3 of it religiously, but with the new support and trying to make space and cut ways to do that, you gotta cut some corners, so you gotta cut some Dark Magician Girls down. So I found that it was okay. It actually worked a little bit better, more consistently. I maybe should have done this early on in older builds, but in this version it's perfectly fine. Just 2 Dark Magician Girls, not 3. So that's the ratio of the Dark Magician Girls and Dark Magicians we run. You can try it out differently if you wanted to. Next we run 3 Magician's Rod. It's essential. It searches out so much of your deck, especially in this version of your deck. I would say a good 50, maybe 45% of your deck is searchable with this card alone. So that should tell you something. If this card is searching about 40 to 50% of your deck, this card's important. It's probably one of your most important normal summons of the deck, and I had to cut some normal summons out of the deck in other areas because they were getting a little bit clunky to make room for this card, which it was becoming more and more prevalent in the deck as I was playtesting. Next we run 3 Berry Magician. I think she's definitely a staple 3 of in the deck, especially if you're running the Dark Magician Girl version of the deck. 3 Kiwi, she's kind of like your Kalute. You definitely run 3 Kiwi in the deck, especially Dark Magician Girl deck. And sadly, I cut Chocolate down to 2 of. I've always loved Chocolate as a 3 of in the deck, hands down, but through playtesting, I was finding she was starting to lose some usage while she's still a great card. If you want to run her as a 3 of, go right ahead. But personally, I like her as a 2 of. You do not run Apple. You do not need to run Lemon. They are niche cards. They are decent, but they're not. Through the way I'm trying to build this deck, you don't need them. So 3 Berry, 3 Kiwi, double Chocolate. You can try different ratios if you want to, but this is what I like. And this is what I was seeing was working out for me. Then, in addition to all that, we run 1 Apprentice Illusion and 1 Paladin Oracle Mana. This is something I was trying out. So, in this version of the deck, I don't like running this as more than a 2 of. You could run 2 of this. So say you wanted to cut mana out for maybe another Chocolate Magician, or you wanted to cut it out of the deck for maybe a second Apprentice Illusion Magician. That's perfectly fine. But I want to try out mana in the deck, and I've actually kind of like it. Like I said, you can playtest around with mana in this deck, but it's up to you. The one Apprentice Illusion Magician is definitely a staple in any Dark Magician deck, but it's on the ratio. That's up to you. Like I said, I was having to cut some things out of the deck to make room, but I still wanted them in some capacity in the deck. But I found, because of this version, because if you notice with a lot of the Magician Girls, your water and kiwi, and you're also berry, they're earth and water and wind. It's not all dark, so this doesn't work as well as it would, say, in a Dark Magician deck, a pure Dark Magician deck where pretty much everything is dark. Mana, like I said, is kind of useful as well. It has its uses. Then we run Soul Servant. We run 3 of this. This is hands down a 3 of in the deck every day. And it works very well, like I said, I've always said before, with your Dark Magician Circle, which we run as a 3 of in the deck as well. So 3 Magician Circle, 3 Soul Servant, definitely staple in this version of the deck even right now. The Soul Servant, I was trying to find space for it, so that's why a lot of things had to get cut. Double Dark Burning Magic. This card's amazing in the deck, especially with the new support we've gotten over the last year. Some people like running this as a 1-of. If you're just chucking in a Dark Magician Girl into your deck, you can chuck this in as a 1-of. But with this deck, where it's predicated on Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl, and this is the centerpiece, because sometimes you are going to nuke your opponent's board multiple times, and you're going to want multiple of this card. It's very essential. It's easily searchable. But I like it as a 2-of. Some people like it as a 1-of. That's fine. In this version of the deck, I like it as a 2-of because you want to get to the combo play of having your Dark Magician Girl out and your Dark Magician to use this card and blow it up on, blow your opponent's board up on their turn when they're going off. So you can use it as a disruption tool. 1 Bond between teacher and student. I wanted to run this as multiples, but at the end of the day, I decided to run it as a 1-of in the deck, and it's been perfectly fine. So 1 Bond between teacher and student. You could run multiples if you wanted to, though. 1 Illusion Magic. 1 Secret of the Dark Magic. 1 The Dark Magician's Inheritance. These are just other Dark Magician cards you can search out, quote unquote. So yeah, they're essential to the deck. Then we also run 1 The Eye of Timaeus and 1 Monster Reborn for your last spells. Eye of Timaeus can go for so much in your extra deck. Some people like bumping this up to 2-of, especially in this build in the past. Me, I just still like it as a 1-of. And 1 Monster Reborn because it has multiple different purposes in this deck. In addition to that, we run Double Magician's Navigation. I really want to bump it up to 2-of because I really like it with the Dark Burning Magic attack. Because this card, in combination with this, you're going to blow up your opponent's board. But we also now have Bond between teacher and student, so yeah, it kind of makes up with the 3rd navigation. So it's up to you if you want to run triple navigation in this deck. If you don't have the Magician Souls, you can also run that as well, as I'm about to show you guys here shortly. That's an optional thing, which I'll show you at the end of this deck profile, which I plan to do. Next, we run Double Eternal Soul, and also 1 Magician's Combination. These are the last of the traps you run in the deck, and then we're going to talk about the expensive card of the deck here, which I'm going to show you, pull out for you guys to show you in the deck profile. But this card you definitely run as a double in the deck. Some people only like running as a 1-of, that's fine. And the Magician's Combination I really like in this version of the deck. It's just a good 1-of to have. It's really nice to have. And then the last 3 cards we run, which I wanted to leave to the ends just to discuss this with you, is 3 Magician's Soul. You definitely run this in the deck if you have access to it. The reason I'm leaving this at the end of the video and not in the main part of the video is there were some people last week that were saying, hey, at the end of the video, can you just put Magician's Soul in there and just talk about other cards as well? Yeah, and that's what I plan to do. Like I've shown you in the deck profile, there are ways where you can replace other cards in your deck to make this deck still function well. Are they replacements? Are they just as good as Magician's Souls? No, they are not. But if you have access to this card, run it. If you don't, there are other cards you can run as substitutes. But they're not going to be making your deck as good as they would be if you had access to this. I know it's an expensive card. I got the hookup. But you could run things like Double Chocolate, you could run a Third Navigation, there are other cards you could tech into the deck if you wished, Apprentice Illusion. There are other cards out there that you can run in the deck, maybe the third Dark Magician Girl you want to run in the deck. I've shown you a bunch of different options, but in my version of the deck, I definitely like running 3 Magician Souls as I end out the main deck of this profile. Hopefully it gets a reprint one day, I hope, for some players out there. Let's go on to the extra deck now. So we have our Dark Magician Girl Field Center. In addition to that, we have 1, the Dark Magician, 1, the Dark Paladin, because believe me guys, somebody's going to decide to pull out a Blue Eyes White Dragon deck and face you. And then you'll have the Dark Paladin. 1, the Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight. I still like running this card in the deck. It's awesome. 1 Amulet Dragon. And 1 the Dragon Knight. So that's all your fusions you run. And that's why, you know, a lot of these you're going to use Eye of Timaeus to go for, but they're just there in case. Level 7s, we got Ebenon High, Ebenon Illusion, Dragosac, Big Eye, Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, if you can't tell what that is. These are your level 7 Exceed monsters you can go into right here. So that's that. For your link plays, you run All Mirage, Cerberus, Phoenix, Unicorn, Bull, Sword. And in addition to all this, we definitely run the Duelist Kingdom cards, because we're going to go duel in Duelist Kingdom again this week. And we have our Yugi tokens as well. So yeah, guys, that's the deck in a nutshell. Like I said, it's a very fun deck to play. This is a more funner version of the deck. It's kind of straightforward with the new support. I was trying to show you at the end of the video, after getting some comments last week, on just other things that we could discuss as options for the coming video. And that's what I was trying to do in this deck profile, guys. So hopefully I gave you a couple of different options you could run, because I understand that card's expensive. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Like I said, I love this deck. This is a more funner version. The fact that it's like, I love this deck. It's just as good as the other one, but the other one's built more for competitive Yu-Gi-Oh!, while this is more for fun. And to just have fun with Dark Magician Girl and the Dark Magician Girl engine while still using Dark Magician. And this has always been a fun deck to construct ever since the movie pack and the Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie came out a couple years ago. But if you enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a thumbs up. And until next time, guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling to all of you, and if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel for more awesome videos. Until next time, guys, take care to all of you, and go Dark Magician Girl. She is waifu, she is bae, and she is the original waifu in Yu-Gi-Oh! For me.